It's hard to imagine anyone saying no to Hollywood's biggest roles, but Clint Eastwood did just that. Number 3 on this list would have put him in one of the most famous action movies of all time, and as for number 6, he could have worn the most iconic tux in movie history. But he walked away. Here's every role Eastwood turned down. Men in Black was one of the most entertaining blockbusters of the 90s, with the effortless chemistry between Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones making it unforgettable. Ironically, Sony's first pick for Agent K wasn't Jones at all. It was Clint Eastwood. Director Barry Sonnenfeld, however, was pushing hard for Jones. When Eastwood passed, Sonnenfeld nearly lost his shot at the project since Jones had director approval. "I almost got screwed," Sonnenfeld admitted, but Jones ultimately gave him the green light and Men in Black was born. Sure, Eastwood as the grizzled Agent K sounds intriguing, but imagining anyone other than Jones in that role? Near impossible. Eastwood and Sergio Leone seemed inseparable after the Dollars trilogy, but Clint turned down Leone's offer to play harmonica in Once Upon a Time in the West. Charles Bronson took the role, adding his own edge to the character. Leone even wanted Eastwood, Lee Van Cleef, and Eli Wallach to appear as the outlaws who ambush harmonica, as a final nod to the Dollars era. But Eastwood passed on both roles, choosing not to revisit that chapter with Leone. Apocalypse Now was a nightmare to make, but it emerged as a classic. It could have looked totally different, though. Clint Eastwood was originally offered the lead role of Benjamin Willard. According to Eastwood, Coppola called and asked if he'd play the young guy, who Martin Sheen eventually portrayed. But after learning it meant 16 weeks in the Philippines, Eastwood, having just finished building his own house on home soil, turned it down. Frank Sinatra was contractually obligated to be offered the lead, having previously starred in 1968's The Detective. But Eastwood actually held the rights to Nothing Lasts Forever in the early 1980s, which would eventually evolve into Die Hard. It's become the stuff of legend that every major star in the business turned down the chance to be John McClane before Bruce Willis secured his career-defining gig as the beleaguered detective. But screenwriter Jeb Stewart revealed that one of the reasons why Eastwood turned it down was because he didn't understand the humor. The search for Superman was intense, drawing almost every actor in Hollywood before Christopher Reeve, pretty much unknown at the time, finally got the role. Eastwood was briefly in the mix, but he quickly passed. Though he loved comics as a kid, the idea of squeezing into a skin-tight suit to play a superhero? Not his style. Superman? Nah, that's not for me, he shrugged. In the end, Reeve was the perfect Man of Steel, but it's fun to imagine Eastwood's take. With Sean Connery vacating the tux at the end of his iconic tenure, the search to find the next James Bond ultimately settled on George Lazenby. But Eastwood was one of many much higher-profile names under consideration at the time. The 4-time Academy Award winner was offered pretty good money to do Bond, but he decided he didn't want to step on anybody else's toes. My lawyer represented the Broccolis, and he came and said, "They would love to have you." For Eastwood, though, that was somebody else's gig. Calling Bond role Sean's deal, the actor said, "It didn't feel right for me to be doing it." He's not wrong either, considering the thoroughly American and world-famous star would have been a jarring Bond, to say the least.